Ponlo en Facebook. Pon las fotos en Facebook.
First, between the films, we're going to have a live Q&A with Rachel Talalay. By the lack of claps, you probably don't know who she is. For those of you who don't know who she is, she started off as, on production on the original Nightmare on Elm Street before becoming a producer on Elm Street 3 and 4. She wound up being the only female director to direct an Elm Street film with Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare. She also produced John Waters' Hairspray, John Waters' Crybaby, and she's directing current episodes of the new season of Doctor Who.
Nice.
So, she's really talented, and I'm really happy to have her for a Q&A tonight. She'll also be in South Florida in February for the Shock Pop, where I'm going to be co-hosting with her a 20th anniversary of the Tank Girl movie, which she also directed. Which, going to be no Tank Girl, okay? The second Q&A after the second film is with Miko Hughes, who played the little kid in New Nightmare, but everyone recognizes him as Baby Gage from Pet Sematary. From Kindergarten Cop, boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. He was also in Spawn and Mercury Rising and a bunch of other cool stuff in the 90s. So we're going to have a Q&A with him as well. Hey, Mark. I want to introduce you all to Mark Heller, who runs the Shock Pop Comic Con coming in February. He's coming.
3 weeks later.
Oh, no, that's all right. How you doing, Mark? Awesome. Glad you made it out here. I heard the traffic was brutal. No, there's a lot of people, like I got a bunch of texts, a lot of people are stuck in traffic trying to get here.
So I have, if you don't know or not aware, a convention coming up in February called Shock Pop Comic Con. It's going to have the largest assembly of Elm Street actors and directors and producers ever put in a convention before. We have a full reunion of Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Lou Goodler, Robert Wessler, Kim Myers, Mark Patton, Robert Englund's going to be there. Yeah! And we're going to have a really cool package on Friday night. You can get a picture with the entire cast and crew, with the director there too. Rachel Talalay, first time at the convention in 20 years. The director of Freddy's Dead is going to be there. Sean Greenblatt, who was John Doe, and Freddy's Dead will be there as well. And Mark gave me clearance to let you guys know we're going to be doing. There's been a lot of demand for people to do stuff with makeup and everything. And unfortunately, Robert already did an exclusive deal. So Mark Patton and Robert Wessler are going to do a special photo op where people who make nightmare gloves are going to make a custom prosthesis with a sculpt of Robert's head. So it'll be like the bedroom scene where you have Freddy coming out of his chest and then his hands have the gloves coming through. And you can sit there and take a picture with Mark and Robert like that. And it's only going to be about $50 for the entire photo op. So
That is not bad. That's not bad. That's really good. And Jason from Freddy vs. Jason could be here.
yes. So and also Sean Cunningham, who's the producer of the original Friday the 13th, director and producer of Freddy vs. Jason will be here as well.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing convention.
Plus people from Friday the 13th. We're bringing Bobby Rhodes, Freddy Greta, Humberto Bava, Claudio Simonetti from Goblin, and Sergio Stiletti for Demons Reunion. We've got Elvira coming, John Waters is coming. We got a really stack. We're doing Mark is doing the 25th anniversary screening of Frankenhooker with Eddie Mullen.
Yeah! Frankenhooker. For those of you who haven't seen Frankenhooker, it's going to be awesome.
Zach Halligan, the star of Gremlins, is going to be there as well. Naomi Grossman, who's Pepper in American Horror Story, will be coming also. So we got a pretty stacked guest list. Over 50 celebrities coming, not just horror guests, but we also have the guy that plays Deathlock on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Pam from True Blood's coming.
You mentioned Karate Kid.
There's a full Karate Kid reunion with Ralph Macchio.
The real Karate Kid, all right.
So,
From Arrow.
We have Katie Lance, who's a Black Canary with Arrows coming. We have Clive Barker couldn't make it because he's sick. He's going to be bringing out a bunch of art. We're going to have the original Clive Barker art exhibit. It was just seen recently at San Diego Comic-Con. It's very rare. We'll have that on display all weekend. Erie Vaughn of Champaign and Danzig and Misfits will be down there. He's going to have an art exhibit as well. Lots of animation. We're doing the first ever reunion for Fire and Ice by Ralph Bakshi. Ralph won't be able to make it, but he'll be Skyping in, and we're trying to get Robert Rodriguez to join us because he's doing a
Nice.
live action Fire and Ice. We got a couple people from the cast and the animators from the cartoon as well.
And you have the writer from Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes, he's the guy who does the From Dusk Till Dawn TV series, and he's the writer of Machete. We're also bringing in Danny Trejo, who is
Nice.
so lots of cool stuff and fun opportunities. We're bringing a lot of prop makers. And we have Anders Erickson, who's known for really high quality Nightmare on Elm Street glove prop replicas is going to be down there. He works very closely with Robert himself, very good friend of his. And they're the highest quality replica gloves out there. He'll be selling custom gloves at the show as well.
Right. We're actually tonight, when the event ends, I'm going to be signing up volunteers. So anyone who's looking to volunteer, if you volunteer for one day, you'll get admission for a second day for free. So like if you volunteer on a Friday, you can come on a Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the show. Or if you volunteer on a Saturday, you can enjoy Sunday, something like that. So we're going to be signing up volunteers. Your meal will be taken care of for the day, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll be outside at the end of the the show tonight, signing people up, whoever's interested. So it's going to be an amazing convention, and
The biggest one of its kind in South Florida ever before. So
yeah,
over 100,000 square feet in the Broward County Convention Center for Lauderdale.
definitely. Really looking forward to it. Y'all looking forward to that? I would like to introduce from Kruger Collectibles. It's a nonprofit group, a nonprofit website online. Any Freddy fans should go and check them out. Also, where's Nathan at? Nathan, come on up. Nathan is from Flick Direct, and he has a lot of cool t-shirts and stuff we're going to throw at the audience from various movies.
Cool.
He also has a poster from the original Terminator that we're going to be giving out as well. And I'm going to be calling up people in costumes who decided to come and dress up tonight, because I have some awesome prizes to give away. And they're all Elm Street related prizes, except for one that's not Elm Street related. It's really stupid, but I'm giving it to someone anyways. Because it's signed. So, introduce your site.
Actually, can everyone hear me better with this?
Yes.
Okay. Nathan Rose from Flick Direct. Some of you probably haven't heard of Flick Direct. We mainly do things up in the Palm Beach area, promotions, giveaways, tickets. One thing that we do have is a movie clock app for iPhone and Android that lets you check into your favorite films, get updated news, trailers, and prizes, such as some of the things that we're giving away from the studios here. Basically, you just go to flickdirect.com. There's a link there to download the app. And if any of you check in tonight from here for seeing Nightmare on Elm Street, you will be getting entered in the prize to get a Nightmare on Elm Street full 7-disc Blu-ray collection. So if you go ahead and check in on your app, you will be entered into that.
Cool.
I haven't already, of course.
Alright, so we have various shirts and other giveaways that just, we've had left over from some of our promotions we've done with some of the studios. Mark, how do you want to give these away?
We're going to just toss
You
these
want to
shirts
just toss
out.
these in out?
Okay. We're going to toss
All right.
these shirts out. Did you do something?
No, no sé.
I'm going to take some
¿Tiene camisa?
shirts out.
A ver, va a agarrar la camisa a la gente.
So we're going to have people who decide to come dress up, come up on stage, and I got some awesome prizes for you guys for the best costume.
Ah, que lo van a tirar.
Sí.
Alright, I'm just going to start throwing them randomly.
Go far! Further!
¡Y throw! para abajo, para abajo.
Alright, it's gonna go from here.
To one of our popcorn nights events beforehand.
Vamos para
All right,
adelante.
a good number of you. So some of you are new. Who hasn't been to O Cinema, either of our cinemas before? All right, and so thank you for coming. And this is the first time that we're doing popcorn nights at this venue. It's a bigger venue. I'm not sure if it's a bigger screen, but we've got a new screen over there. But this is kind of like a little bit of a peek into what Mark and I have been talking about doing with popcorn cinema in the coming year. We don't want to just show a movie once a month. We still show movies once a month. We want to start doing like special events around. So this double feature, where I think this is a fantastic double feature. I'm not a big horror fan, and I was excited about this just because I love the fact that the second film is a new nightmare, and it's just kind of like, it's a perfect, like, you see the two movies together, they complement each other, even though they're not direct sequels. So I really love that fact. We're talking about something in January that it's going to be kind of ambitious, that we want to do, that'll be bigger than just a movie screening. So if you guys come to our screenings and you come to a cinema on a regular basis, we appreciate it. And again, I want to thank everybody for coming to this double feature because, you know, it's more than normal, and you're showing support that you will support something that we'll do that is just more than one movie or one thing, and it's going to embolden us to do stuff further.
Right, we know that double features aren't always easy. I mean, it's a 4-hour event to be in the theater, but the fact that you're here and the fact that you know there's a new episode of Walking Dead going on while you're here shows how much of just shows how much of a fan you are. I'm a huge Freddy fan, and I bet none of you can guess what my next two movies are. What? Did someone just ask what?
Dream Warriors.
Gee, I don't know. One thing Kevin and I have in common is both of us, Back to the Future, the original film, is our favorite movie of all time. That is I've seen it originally came out in the summer of '85. I saw it in the theater over 20 times that summer. I've seen that in the theater more than any film ever. In 2010, I went to Austin for the 25th anniversary that was hosted by Christopher Lloyd.
Great Scott.
Tell them what the venue you just went to.
Did anybody hear about the Secret Cinema event we did in London, Back to the Future? Secret Cinema, this is kind of something, well, I'm not going to go into it, but this Secret Cinema in London, they do this thing where they take films and they create an immersive event along with it. So, for example, the Grand Budapest Hotel, and they had a hotel that was all themed to it, and you show up a couple of hours earlier, you walk around, interact, be part of the feeling of the movie that you'd have to see screening of the film. They did that with Back to the Future. They recreated the entire town square, Hill Valley, the courthouse square, and it was like a month-long thing. You wouldn't go for a month, but you'd go each day. And essentially, you go 6 hours before the film, and you would come in costume. They'd give you a character that you walk around and play as. The actors, everybody and everywhere was playing. Pretty much you were in Hill Valley for 4 to 6 hours before, and you would watch a movie, and this whole interactive element. It was really cool. Yeah, I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. I do an event. I did an event in 2010 in LA called We're Going Back, which was like the biggest Back to the Future convention, or not convention, gathering thing, and we did a lot of people went to the places where they filmed the film. We recreated the Champions dance at the place where they filmed that. We did hoverboarding 101. We got the stunt team for the hoverboarding in this movie, and then recreated it with the people. So you went to that, you got to hoverboard. And then we're doing it again in 2015. If you're interested in that, go to we'regoingback.com. Another thing that, and this kind of ties in with this, I've never seen Back to the Future Part 2 on the big screen. I've seen Part 1 a lot of times. But I met a lot of people associated with the film, a lot of fans, a lot of the people who worked in it. So one of the nicest guys, one of the people that I appreciate most ever meeting was Jeffrey Wiseman. You guys know who Jeffrey Wiseman is?
Mm-hmm.
No, right. But who played George McFly?
Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover.
Who played George McFly Part 2 and 3?
Jeffrey Wiseman.
Jeffrey Wiseman.
Yep.
Jeffrey Wiseman is one of the nicest people I've ever met, funniest guys. He also has the most interesting stories about Back to the Future Part 2 and in general, because he kind of was almost like an observer of how they were and how people were, and like kind of like the controversy about like not rehiring Crispin Glover and getting somebody to stand in for him and all that sort of stuff. So he has some of the most interesting stories. We're going to have him here, or not here, sorry, we're going to have him do a Q&A for the Back to the Future Part 2 screening. And yeah, like, he, of all the people, all the stories you've ever heard, his are the freshest, because most people don't know the stuff that he has to tell, the things that like Spielberg would say to him, as if he would talk to Jeffrey as if he were Crispin Glover, teasing Crispin Glover. Anyway, it's really interesting stories. But yeah, so Back to the Future Part 2 on Monday, November 24th.
Yes. And then in December, you know, what better way to celebrate Christmas than the 30th anniversary. You know, it's a Christmas movie. You know, got a gremlin jumping out of a Christmas tree attacking a mom. So what sells Christmas more than that? And they're both Spielberg produced films.
So they were both filmed on the back lot, same back lot. The courthouse square was also used for Gremlins. That's another thing.
If you ever noticed in the opening of Gremlins, the town they're walking in where they're getting Christmas trees, it's Hill Valley, just covered in snow. It's the exact same spot.
Same back lot.
You'll even see like I think the clock tower.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool. And Zach, you know, who plays Billy Peltzer, is going to be here in Fort Lauderdale at the Shock Pop Comic Con as well. So you'll be able to take a picture with him too.
Cool.
In February, so that's really cool. And I'm really excited about both of these films, and I'm excited about what we have working on in 2015. And most of all, I'm excited about tonight seeing these films, these Elm Street films. And I'm glad you guys came out here for this. Now I think it's time to do costume talk.
Well, one more thing I want to let you guys know about, when we're going to show these trailers and stuff, we're also going to show the Birdman trailer. I don't know if you've seen Birdman or heard of it. It's the new Michael Keaton film where he plays an actor who once played a superhero, who's not himself. It's a really interesting film. It's going to open, it's already open in the Milkplex. If you want to go see it, you can go see it at AMC or Regal or whatever. But O Cinema is going to open it next Friday at our new Miami Beach location. We're opening O Cinema Miami Beach on November 7th. It's on 71st Street near Collins. If you come on November 7th at the 7 o'clock screening, there's a reception afterwards. The mayor is going to be there. I was trying to get Birdman, like the basketball player, to be there. That guy come. True story. I've actually considered this. That would be funny. So if you guys want to see that movie and you want to support O Cinema further, please come out that weekend and see it with us, because it will send a message to distributors that we can open a film strong, and we can start getting films like that or other films playing at that theater, this theater, Wynwood Theater, more often. So we appreciate your support if you come out. And otherwise, you see the movie because it's a really cool looking movie.
And a lot of it's done in one take.
One big long take.
You know, and a lot of the actors were nervous while doing it because if one person messed up, they had to do these whole takes over and over again. They said it was really daunting, but the cast is absolutely terrific, and the director did an amazing job with it. So definitely, you know, if you get a chance, go see Birdman. Now let's. What's going on, man? How you doing? You don't say much, do you? That's cool. So we're gonna have. I'm gonna show you some of the prizes that we have. I was rocking this really awesome Nightmare on Elm Street 3 replica glove from NECA, or NECA, whatever you want, however you want to pronounce it. I'm going to be giving away 2 of those gloves.
Nice.
Woo! To the best costumes. How awesome is that? Wait. Also, from 80stees.com, I have a few Elm Street tees, Freddy tees. Wait. I have a couple copies of the Never Sleep Again documentary, the Elm Street documentary, which is awesome if you've never seen it. Is that Tommy? Yeah, the writer for the documentary is actually going to be here at the Shock Pop as well. Yes, and Van Gordon Magazine will be here too. This is an awesome documentary, so even if you don't win it, make sure you pick it up and check it out because it's incredible, especially if you're an Elm Street fan.
It's better than his name is Jason!
It actually is, I agree with you, it is. I also have a few from 1987 original Nightmare on Elm Street sticker packs, courtesy of 80scards.com. And for those of you who are not aware of 80scards.com, I own it. So so it just automatically makes it cool. It's a trading card site that sells vintage wax packs of original movie trading cards from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. We do have Take Girl trading cards. We do have original Alien trading cards. And they still have the gum inside.
Ew.
So if you get any of those, don't chew it. It's from the 70s. And these just came in. These haven't even hit the store shelves yet. I'm going to be giving away 4 of these. It is from NECA. And it's a 30th anniversary, a Nightmare on Elm Street figure.
Nice.
How awesome is that? I actually had 5 to give away, but I kept 1 for myself. Actually, I am giving away 3. So, yes, so we have some really cool stuff. So, if you came in a costume, come on up. Come on up on the ramp here. Robert? Doing all right? I know you are. This guy, Robert, right here, is one of the biggest horror fans I know. Say hi to everybody, Robert. Dude, he's really cool, though. He loves horror films. He got the Halloween box set, like Blu-ray box set before I could. Yeah, I was jealous. I still haven't had a chance to watch it yet. So how you guys doing? I want to thank you all for coming out in costume. Are you Beetlejuice? I knew it. And from The Walking Dead, right? Which character?
My name's Joe. Are you a cat person, Daryl?
I'm actually a ferret person.
I am.
Yeah, I'm a ferret person.
I've been one since I was 3 years old.
Really?
Fierce creatures.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
Nothing sadder than an indoor cat thinks he's an outdoor cat.
Do you guys remember that from Walking Dead? Yeah. You guys are not Walking Dead fans.
You. Talking Dead.
Beetlejuice. What's your name? Jenny. Jenny? You are? Well, I know you're Jason. Duh. Let's put on the mask. We got Jason. What's your name? Alright. Cool. Let's go down. Awesome. You are? Okay. Robert? And you're Freddy? Are you a victim? You're a victim. Well, I see the slashes. Okay. You're a package deal. If you guys do win something, it's going to be a package deal. We're going to have to split it. So if you get the glove, she gets some fingers and you get some fingers. So I'll let you guys. I'm not even going to go there with that joke. I had the joke in my head. I'm trying to put my finger on it. I know what you're dressed up. It's on the tip of my tongue. Oh!
Don't you mean Power Rangers?
Power Rangers! There you go. There you go. Because there's nothing scarier than the Power Rangers. What's your name?
Andy.
Andy. All right. And I know you guys. You are a victim. Yeah, a victim, a Freddy victim. And those of you who are familiar with Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, which was actually directed by Rachel, who we have a Q&A.
Forgot the glove!
How many of you know what actor played his character? Okay. No, it was Breckin Meyer. Breckin Meyer played with the plaid shirt from Clueless and a bunch of other movies. Franklin the Bash. He's in Franklin the Bash with Paul Gosselaar. Yes. So I love the Power Glove. That's really awesome. Are they gonna have Power Gloves at Shock Top?
Most likely, I've been talking to Andrew looking for people about this stuff. We also
I love the new Nightmare Glove. I actually love that thing. And for those of you who didn't put together with the trench coat, I'm actually the new Nightmare Freddy, though I didn't buy the new Nightmare Glove because I'm broke. So,
What are my legs?
So we're gonna see how many people we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So about 1 second. You know what? I think every one of you is gonna get a prize. But prizes based on the most original, like the best prize will go to like the most original costume. Dude, stop talking. You just never know when to shut up. Alright. So, first of all, I'm going to start with these two awesome gloves. These two gloves. I know you're supposed to give the grand prize last, but I just want to get this out of the way. So we're going to start with those.
Yep.
And let's see. Does anyone have a vote for the two best costumes?
Walking Dead, because he's missing his show tonight to be here.
You know, I'm actually going to have to agree with you. And he also went that extra mile to quote lines from the show. That's really cool. So you're actually getting one of the gloves. Now let's see.
As a powerful of Freddy.
It's so bad!
How many agree with you? How many agree with that statement? How
Yeah.
many agree that Power Glove Freddy should get the glove?
Yeah.
You think so? Especially since he took the time to make that glove?
Yep.
And I almost lost an eye. Yes, that's her.
Alright, we're gonna go with that. There you go. So, next we are gonna do the 30th anniversary figures. I have 4 of those to give away. And I think, in my personal opinion, the people who came dressed as Freddy should get them. That's what I think. And since it's my event, that's what I'm going to do. So, Freddy. Freddy. Put your glove on. And since Freddy bought Jason, look at that. So next, we are going to do t-shirts. How awesome is that? And what's really cool about the shirt is if you flip it up, it actually has a mask of Jason inside. So you can flip it over your head, just don't like walk around with it flipped over your head because you're walking to something and hurt yourself. There's actually a label on the shirt that says that. So for those of you who would actually do that. So we're going to give you a shirt. Awesome. We're going to give you a shirt. We're going to give you a shirt. Thank you so much. And we're going to give you a shirt. Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, there's more. There's more.
Then we have the Elm Street DVD. And this one is going to go to the second half. All right? And then this one is going to go to someone in the audience.
Right here.
I'm going to throw it. I'm not going to throw it. As soon as she said in the back of my ear, that's a dangerous thing. So hold on. Can everyone see her okay?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey Rachel, how do we sound?
You sound good.
Awesome. Well,
Excellent.
I'm Mark. I'm the one who's been talking to you through the email. And I'm really excited to have you here tonight via Skype with us.
Certainly.
Thanks, Mark.
Alright, and I also have Mark Heller here from Shock Pop Comic Con with us as well.
Oh, great.
Awesome. First of all, I want to introduce the audience to you. We have a great crowd here. We just finished watching the first film, and we're doing the Q&A before we go into New Nightmare. And as I was telling the audience, you started off as a production manager on the first 2 films, before moving in as a line producer on the 3rd, a producer on the 4th, and then you directed the 6th film. Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. Freddy's Dead. So I wanted to ask you, talk to you about your experience with the franchise. And my first question was, how did you first get involved with the series? How did you first get involved with New Line and Wes to do the first film?
So the very first film I worked on was Polyester with John Waters. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, because I'm getting that terrible transatlantic feedback, so I'll try not to stumble over myself.
You met John Waters right out of college, right? Right out of film school. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I went and volunteered to work on Polyester, and which was partially at my New Line. And that's where I met Bob Shea, and it went straight from that to a horror film that they made in New York called Alone in the Dark. And they were also low budget. Then
yes.
I said, oh my God, you've got a math major, we'll do the accountant, as if there was some relationship between math and accounting, because there isn't. And so I ended up being the accountant and working very closely with Bob Shea. And so when I moved to California and was working with Roger Corman, they got the financing together for Nightmare on Elm Street. And I was their person, not Wes Craven's person. I was the New Line person. They felt that I would be somebody in there who could, they knew. And they trusted the penny, silly them. And, but I was trying to get out of accounting and into production, so I said to them, I will do this if you let me do production work. And they said, okay, you can be the assistant production manager and you can do some location managing as long as you keep your eye on the accounting. So the very first thing I did was go out and find a Nightmare house. So I'm responsible for finding Glenn's and Nancy's houses, which had to be across the street from each other in a LA neighborhood that looked like Ohio.
Right. And that house has actually become like one of the most iconic houses in film. It's like people, when they see the house, when they see that structure, they know exactly what it's from. And and when you would originally first see the house, it wouldn't stand out on a regular neighborhood street, that like in a regular suburban area. But it just, for some reason, it just works. It's a house that people identify with it, with the series.
Well, it was so well used by Wes that there was so many iconic shots.
Right.
But the challenge was really, there aren't that many places in LA proper that look like suburban Ohio. And to find two houses across the street from each other where you could go from window to window, which we actually did, was a huge challenge.
Yeah, and those are great shots, especially the ones between Johnny Depp's character Glenn and Heather Nancy, the Nancy character. Those shots where they communicate over the phone, looking at each other through the window. I mean, those are definitely great shots. This week actually marks the 30th anniversary of Elm Street. And like most of the people here, the film has really become a major part of our love for horror cinema. Did you ever have an idea that it was going to be as big as it was?
Well, I have to say, first of all, I was only 10 when I worked on it. I just want to make that clear to everybody. If it's 30 years old, I was only 10.
I thought you were 12. I thought you were 12.
I was
mistaken.
a 10-year-old. But when I read the original script, it scared the pants off me. I literally couldn't sleep that night. For me, it was the body bag. That was the one that scared me so much. Then I worked on it, and some stuff worked really well, and some stuff didn't work at all. And then when I saw the film put together, it scared the pants off me then, and I knew how we did everything, and I knew everything that had gone wrong, and I knew it was going to work right the second I watched it, because it was terrifying, and it's still terrifying to everyone, and you talk to people who just tell you how traumatized they were by thinking they were brave enough to watch it when they were too young to watch it.
It was scary to me. The scene that always stuck out for me was Robert's face when he chops off his own fingers. Just the smile he has when he cuts up, and he's looking at his fingers, and he's looking at Nancy, and he just has this sadistic smile, like, oh, this is fun. I just love that scene, for some reason. It always stuck with me when I think of the original.
What I think a scene that people talk about all the time is the extending arms and the sparking fingers. And that was an absolute disaster. I remember Wes going crazy because nothing was working, and the grips and everything, you know, the PAs putting together fishing poles and making this, because the effects weren't working. And of course, cut together, it's just terrifying.
But the final piece, it just looks great. I mean, it's just a great looking sequence.
Yes.
When you moved on to the second film, again, you were still the production manager. I'm familiar with also the documentary, the Never Sleep Again, which is a great documentary. And a lot of the stuff I've learned about the series was through that documentary, which I've seen twice.
Yes.
I actually gave away a few copies to people tonight. It's a fantastic documentary. I know that the studio didn't originally want to pay Robert to play Freddy again, so they brought in another actor. Would you actually see that actor in the shower scene for a minute? He walks really funny. I think that was, yeah. And you can tell right away that that's not Robert. But
That's true with every stunt scene. I mean, it's true with the fire scene. Nobody moved like Robert Englund.
Right.
And Robert said it from the beginning. They hired a really good actor to play Freddy, and he developed an entire vocabulary. And it's not a digital world then, so we couldn't be fixed by morphing the face onto Robert's body. So yes, every time you tried to, it was an unmitigated disaster from the second that we started with somebody else.
Right. I know. When it comes to the second film, a lot of people have different opinions about the second film. I'm actually super excited to watch you're going to be here in February, and I'm so excited to watch the Elm Street 2 panel, which will be at Shock Pop. Just because there's so many things that, I know we haven't heard the whole story about the production and the whole history with the second film, and I'm just like dying to learn everything, because
First time you ever appeared at a show, you come to the show with us in February. Never appeared at a convention or anything called the Society of Sleep Again regarding Nightmare 2.
Right, I'm actually going to give the mic to Mark to bring up some things about the second film. Hold on.
Hi, Rachel.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah, so as I was mentioning to Mark over there, we're bringing David in, who's never publicly spoken about the second film and stuff. And we tried to bring in the effects, but they weren't available at the time and stuff. But it seems like when I talked to Mark Patton, at great length, there's a lot of untold history about the film that's still out there.
I probably am the weakest on Nightmare 2, so I'm looking forward to hearing some of the stuff that I had.
We're also very much looking forward to, we got Sean coming to the show. We're trying to get some more people if we can. And we're also looking forward to having him talk to us about Freddy's Dead as well. So.
I have some very specific memories from Nightmare 2, but I wouldn't want to talk too much here. I mean, but everyone should see Never Sleep Again, because this Nightmare 2 segment is hysterical.
It really is. It really is. It's one of the best film documentaries I've ever seen. Not just about horror, just about a history of any kind of film series. It's really just, it gives you everything. It gives you so much, and it's just so entertaining to watch. It's definitely one of my favorite documentaries.
These things happen because I asked. So I started as assistant production manager. They came back and offered me this job. I said, no, you have to up me to production manager. On Nightmare 3, they came back and said, will you be the production manager? And I said, no, I want to be the line producer. So they promoted me by making an effort. So don't be afraid to ask.
No, that's right. I mean, you never know unless you ask, and that's really goes with anything. What's the worst they could say? No.
Right, and what's the worst I could say? No, but they did. To New Line's credit, they kept helping and supporting and upping me.
Right. And Dream Warriors is one that a lot of people, that's their favorite in the series. I think Dream Warriors is terrific. It's definitely, it was one, they went in a different direction in it. The special effects were bigger. I love the scene with the big worm, Freddy. Do you have any specific memories on the third film that you'd like to share with us?
I could write a book on the third film. Probably one of the hardest things I've ever done, and the thing that I learned, the show that I learned the most on, absolutely. Chuck Russell and Frank Darabont wrote the script.
Right.
And it was a wonderful script, but way, way, way more ambitious than we could ever imagine doing. And if you think about, even in those days, that we had $4 million and we did all of those effects for $4 million, it near killed. It near killed Chuck, it near killed the cast. And it was utterly worth it because my whole objective is we're going to do everything we possibly can, any way we can figure it out. And that's why the film has stop motion effects, it has visual effects. And remember, in those days, they were visual effects, not digital effects.
Right.
It has 4 companies doing makeup effects. It has mechanical effects, and it has the genius Vic Strawn doing both art department construction and the smaller effects. And that team was unbelievable. But never did I believe that we were going to pull off the stop motion, did I believe that we were going to pull off the mirrors. I mean, just how to do the mirrors and the wicker bed and the snake. Incredible genius creativity went into those things, and I've used everything I learned on the Nightmare films on everything I've done since then. It was the greatest learning experience ever.
It's a great film. I mean, to me, it's the film that has the greatest characters. I actually love the characters in the film. I thought Patricia Arquette was great in it. I was one of those people who was always upset that she never returned for the 4th film. But actually, speaking of the 4th film, that is the most personal one for me because that is the first one I actually saw theatrically. That was the first one. My older sister took me to see that one. It's also the one to me that has the best demise of Freddy in the whole series, with all the souls escaping from his body. And I absolutely love that. That in the whole series, that is my favorite sequence.
Even with the terrible kids doing the Freddy chorus that made Freddy Harlan just went crazy. That we had to do the Freddy chorus as part of it.
Yeah, it was the film that really peaked the Elm Street phenomenon. That was I think that was the biggest film in the series, the 4th one. And it's definitely the kills were great. I loved when he turned the girl into a cockroach. That was definitely one that was memorable for me. Do you have anything interesting that you'd like to share about your experience with the 4th film, working on the 4th film?
The writers were on strike, and so we didn't really have a writer for it. So the whole film was put together as a hodgepodge of, we know we have to do a whole bunch of cool effects. Freddy was incredibly ambitious. I was all the time saying, we can't do as much as you want to do. But, so ultimately the few unsuccessful scenes, such as the invisible fight with Freddy, which Red will talk about as the thing that we had to do when we couldn't afford to do a proper fight sequence. But the stuff that was successful was phenomenal. I love the roach scene.
The roach scene is great.
Use it as an example of how we turned horror on its side, because the obvious version of that scene is girl afraid of bugs, dump her in a bug pit.
Yeah. No, you turn her into a bug.
Then we had to get permission from Roach Motel to use the Roach Motel and to do, you can check in but you can't check out. And Roach Motel gave us permission.
See, that's great. And
was amazing to me.
It's definitely got a lot of creative stuff. I know, I think of it almost like the MTV version installment of the series. It's very much like a really cool music video, but it's so much fun. The 4th one is so much fun. Last year I hosted a 25th anniversary screening of it because it just brings back a lot of memories for me with that one. I know you stepped away from the franchise for the 5th film to work with John Waters on Hairspray and Crybaby. Was it Hairspray or Crybaby?
Crybaby.
Crybaby. And you had worked with Johnny Depp before for the first Elm Street. I love Crybaby. I absolutely love Crybaby. It's just a really fun movie. But you told me your husband worked on a part on the fifth film?
Yeah, so my husband produced the fifth. So, you know, had to keep it in the family.
Yeah.
My husband, I was on long enough to help hire Steve Hopkins and be somewhat involved in the script development. And then I had the opportunity to do Crybaby, and it wasn't with New Line, so I went off to work with John. And so my husband ended up producing, doing a great job producing Part 5. Part 5 has its own problems, but there's a lot of it that's remarkable.
I love Super Freddy. I love the black and white sequence. That's my favorite part of Part 5, the black and white, with the Super Freddy. I absolutely love that scene. You know,
I mean, the hardest part they had is things like the motorcycle sequence where they had to cut. That's a scene where they had to cut tons of it down. It was way too violent.
But it's a great scene. I mean, that motorcycle scene, even cut, it's still a great scene.
It's an amazing scene.
Yeah, it's. I know a lot of work went into that sequence as well, and I know a lot of people were probably really bummed about having to cut that scene down. But it actually is one of the best, another great scene from the franchise. I feel when it comes to the series, no matter how you feel about each film does offer something new and unique that the other ones didn't. That people will say, well, I wasn't a fan of Part 5. But I loved this scene in Part 5, and I loved this scene in Part 5. And there's a lot of series, horror series, you can't say the same thing. You know, the one thing that was great about the series is they tried, the people who worked on it tried to do something different with each kill. They didn't want to repeat it. You know, Freddy just didn't want to stab someone. You know, the creativity was there. Whether the budget was there to back it up was another thing, but the creativity was there.
No, you never ran out of topics, so that's why it was so amazing to work on. I mean, we always got to laugh at them right in the 13th series because they had to become upon themselves.
Right. Before
they were also on Part 8. We were on like Part 5. They were really correcting them out. Now I'm not insulting. I'm just pointing out that they writing them out at a faster pace with less care, I think.
Before I allow some audience members to ask some questions, I wanted to move on to the final thing. Is after Part 5, you were given your first directing gig with Freddy's Dead. You helmed Freddy's Dead, which, you know, I know there's New Nightmare after Freddy's Dead, but to me, Freddy's Dead is actually the final film in the series where New Nightmare is almost like a bonus. It's like a little something different. I always feel, and I still feel like Freddy's Dead is the final actual film in the Freddy series. Because it's technically not Freddy in New Nightmare. It's something a little different. So, and tell me about your directing, like what you remember most about directing that film.
It's really interesting because it's so much part of a time. And we had made 3, 4, 5, and 6 within a 4-year period. And New Line, people ascribe intent to what you do. They think that there's some kind of grand plan that we all had. And there were degrees of understanding.
Oh.
Right in the middle of that.
Oh, she's there. You're still there. Oh, cool, we can hear you.
What did I say?
No, it froze for a minute.
So, I'll back up and just say, people like to think that we knew what we were doing, but we were experimenting.
Right.
And with Freddy's Dead, the mandate was done 3 very similar films. Your assignment is to do something quite different. And it was during the Twin Peaks period. And so we were assigned, and Mike DeLuca, who's a phenomenally huge producer now, wrote it.
Right.
And we were sent in a somewhat different direction. And not all of it has held up as well as 3, 4, and 5 in terms of the effects, because a lot of money went into 3D, and which was pretty much a disaster, but a gimmick. And a lot of money went into the video game sequence that now looks ridiculous, but it's fun anyway.
We actually have someone here dressed as the Breckin Meyer character, and he's wearing the Power Glove, the Freddy Power Glove here tonight. So he's a fan. He's definitely a fan of the video game sequence. Yeah.
When I show this in high school, sometimes you have to show the original Power Glove commercial for people to understand even what the sequence is about. You have to have that amazing ad with all the smoke and everyone, and ridiculous, before the Wii, there was the Power Glove that didn't really work. You got to go now and playing with power.
That sequence is the most entertaining the Power Glove has ever been in its existence. I actually had a Power Glove. I could never get it to work.
Yeah, it was like 3D with a lag in the sun, so yes.
Because we were running a little late tonight, we have to cut it short. But I wanted to thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I'm really excited to be hosting Tank Girl with you at Shop Pop in February.
Can't wait. I want to say that having just done these 2 episodes of Doctor Who,
right.
Nightmare on Elm Street is completely responsible for my ability to do Doctor Who. So,
yeah.
Maybe flawed, but it's a great film.
Yeah, I love Tank Girl. I also love what I told you. I love Book of Love. I know it's not a film that people bring up a lot, but I'm actually a fan of Book of Love.
Well, that told a whole bunch of people about a movie that they haven't seen. Sure.
If any of you like romantic comedies, teen romantic comedies set in the 50s, sex comedies with a heart, make sure to look up Book of Love on DVD. It's actually a really cute movie.
And it was directed by the head of New Line, by Bob Shea.
And that was his first film he directed? Was that his first film?
First film he directed, yes.
Yes, I thought so. Again, hold on, I'm going to have Mark say something.
I just wanted to say we look forward to having you in February for Lauderdale.
Can't wait.
We're really excited. You're going to be reunited with John Waters. You're going to be reunited with the Elm Street people, and you're going to Doctor Who. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm dying to do Tank Girl with you, and everyone's going to come and see you. I want to everybody give a hand to Rachel.
Yeah.
Rachel, it's meant a lot to me that you took time on your Sunday night to be with us, and I appreciate it, and I'll see you in February.
Thanks so much. Have a great time, everyone.
Thanks, man. It's cool.
Yeah. So your first theatrical film, you played Gage in Pet Cemetery. That was your first time doing a film.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sure you get recognized more for that than a lot of the films you've done in the 90s, late 80s, 90s. You were great in Pet Cemetery, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, for whatever reason, that one seems to have stood the test of time.
I'm sure a lot of people come up to you and ask you about your experience with New Nightmare. Were you familiar with Freddy before you did New Nightmare?
I was, yeah. I hadn't seen any of the movies before, but sorry, I'm getting a feedback thing. Yeah, he's such a big pop culture icon. He was, and there was action figures and all kinds of stuff with Freddy. You didn't have to see the movies to know who he was as an icon. So needless to say, I was extremely excited when I got to audition and found out I got it. I think this movie, New Nightmare, was my favorite film I've ever worked on. Just because of the content, how cool it was. It's freaking Freddy Krueger. The set, the people that Wes, he works with a lot of the same crew on the movie, and it was like a family. It just all came together really well.
It's interesting that you say family, because a lot of people may not realize this. A lot of things in the production, I know you were young when you filmed it, but a lot of things in reality mirrored production. Like, an earthquake takes place in the film, but there was actually a real earthquake in Los Angeles, and they used that real earthquake footage while filming it. But also, a lot of people may not realize that your father in the film was an effects artist, but your real life father, John Hughes, is a practical effects artist as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the effects people on Pet Cemetery is married to Heather Langenkamp. So there's like another weird connection.
Well, yeah, Heather and her husband, they have their own effects company.
Yeah.
I think it's really, in the 90s, you worked with so many great actors. I mean, you've worked with Danny DeVito, Chevy Chase, Jack Palance, Tom Hanks, Bruce Willis, and of course Arnold Schwarzenegger in Kindergarten Cop. I so badly want you to quote that Kindergarten Cop line. Awesome! I know you get that a lot. You taught us the most important things in biology. That line, educated us all. I got one question. What do you remember most about your time on set filming A New Nightmare? What are some of your greatest memories from the film?
I think I had a birthday filming on set one day, and my birthday rolled around, and a lot of the cast and crew got me, they all pitched in to give me like presents, and it was almost a scavenger hunt. I had to go to one to the other to like collect, I think they were like Power Ranger action figures. They were really fun at that time, and that was really exciting. But overall, I think my favorite part of filming was the hell set that takes place at the end of the movie. It was built on studio, and it was just a playground. It was huge, and you could run through it, and the detail was just immaculate. I feel like as good as it looked in the movie, some of it didn't even make it into the film, of how all the rooms connected, and just the amount of work that went into that was really impressive and really cool. It was fun to play in. I'm not off hours. It's like a giant evil Chuck E. Cheese or something.
Actually, in that sequence, is it true that Robert, they tried to go that extra mile to try to scare you in some of those scenes?
Yeah, there was one take where they didn't tell me he was going to be there, and he was there, and he popped out, and he like genuinely scared me. And I think it might have been too much. I kind of like freaked out for a little while. I had to come down, but I was 7, so whatever.
You're always great at looking really freaked out. You always had that great terrified look, between evil and terrified. Like you wanted to scare someone, or you could be scared at the exact same time. The other thing I was going to ask you is, bless you. A couple of years ago, I can tell you're a horror fan. It's obvious that you're a fan of horror films. I'm a film critic, and I a lot of times review DVD releases. A couple of years ago, I reviewed the Five Senses of Fear, Chilling Visions.
Oh, cool.
And it's an anthology film, and you actually made your directorial debut with one of the shorts on that film.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience. I never got to work behind the camera before, and I did a zombie film for children a year or so previous, and they contacted me, asked if it was something I'd want to do, and it was a great opportunity. I had a lot of fun doing it. I definitely would do things differently if I had a chance to do it again. It didn't turn out quite like I hoped, but yeah, I was happy to.
I actually thought it turned out pretty good.
Oh, well, thank you. We differ there. I appreciate that.
It's would you want to do more directing?
Definitely. I know how I would do things differently, and I had a blast. I really, it's an interest for sure.
How is working on this film. You said it's your favorite experience on camera, like as far as making a film. So how has working on New Nightmare affected your life, like today? Being a part of this franchise.
It's interesting. I think Pet Sematary and New Nightmare were not the biggest films I did, especially at the time. But the horror genre has such a diehard following that has over time become kind of the staples of my career, it seems. I get to do a lot of horror conventions and travel the country and do things like this right now. I'm talking in Florida on a giant screen apparently. Like it's because of the horror films. So in that sense, I think they've kind of been over time been my best work.
There is a question I wanted to ask. It actually has nothing to do with a horror film that you did. It's a different film. And I don't know if I'll ever have an opportunity to ask an actor about their working with another actor. So I want to ask, do you remember, bless you again. Do you remember what it was like to work with Jack Palance on Cops and Robertsons? I was always such a huge fan of his. I wanted to know what he was like, what it was like to work with him.
He was a really nice guy. He was super cool. He had that, I'm trying to remember specifics. He just had really unique talent. I think they ended up using it in the movie. He could be smoking a cigarette and hit it in his mouth while it's still lit, and then bring it back out and keep smoking it. It's like crazy. I don't know, it's a weird random memory. I think I worked with him, I could be mistaken, it's like a bit. I worked with him also on an episode of Touch Binding, and he was a bro. It was, I'm proud to say that I got to work with him.
Yeah, and you should, I mean, he's just been someone I've watched my whole life. So, he's no longer with us, and I just had to ask you personally, what you remember working like him. It's New Nightmare is, I think, a really interesting film in the series of the Elm Street series. If it wasn't for New Nightmare, there wouldn't be films like Scream. Wes Craven really did something interesting in the film. I think you're great in it, and I just wanted to actually give some of the audience members an opportunity to ask some questions about the film. So who do we have first? All right. What's your question? Oh wait, come on up here. Sorry. What was your question? Oh, that's another classic. This young man wants to know what it was like working with Fred Gwynn on Pet Sematary. I know you were super young, so I'm surprised that you remember much of it. But
yeah, most of my memories of him are a bit vicarious through my parents, just hearing the stories repeated and talking to the rest of the cast. They said he was an amazing guy. I have a children's book that he wrote and signed, a copy of it. It's kind of cool. It's a nice little keepsake. This is probably not the best random story to share, but I remember my parents saying he loved Stoli vodka and he could drink anyone under the table. And Stoli vodka, for whatever reason that memory sticks in my mind. But yeah, from what I remember and from what I hear, he was a really amazing dude.
Here's another question. Hi, Miko. How are you?
Hi.
Cool. Hey, listen, I have actually it's like a two-parter, but my first question was the audition process. If you remember lines that you had to read for it, what they were and who you did it with. And yes, correct. And my second part was the park scene, how they had you rigged up on top of the, yeah.
First question, sorry. First question was, I don't remember the exact scene. I think it was in the movie. But I do remember I had to convulse, just act like I was possessed or freaking out. And I think that might have been one of the things that helped put me over the top because I just went for it and just rolled around on the floor and went crazy. And they seemed to like that I was willing to just go, to the wall with it. So that's, I remember too much of the audition, but that sticks out in my mind. As far as the park, they had the original top to the rocket was pointed. It's just a red, regular looking rocket. They made that the one with the moon and the stars, the blue one that's flat on top, so I could stand on it, because the original it wouldn't have worked. And they had, I think, 2 or 3 of them, and one of them had, like, here's the top, it came up and then around, it was like a belt, and then they had straps, and it's totally safe, it was welded to the top. We went up in a cherry picker, and it was a little scary, like, transitioning, but it was fine. They, like, had 20 people around the whole time. Did a few takes with that. It was a stunt kid that did the actual jump. I thought about it. I thought it'd be cool. I don't think they would have let me even if I would have been brave enough. But yeah, and then they had the regular top as well. So it just looks like normal from the other shots. And then I think they had one on the ground too. Some of the shots were done on the ground, just looking up where you couldn't tell. Yeah.
I have a question. When you say stunt kid, this is clever. Was it an actual kid that was a stunt kid that was more expendable than you?
I kind of had years older than me. I was like, I want to say 7 or 8. Pretty wrong. I think that's right. He was maybe closer to 10, 11, something like that. But he was the same height and build as me. They might have put a wig on him. I think he might have been blonde or something like that. But yeah, I think his dad was a stuntman, and he was just in that role, and that's what he was there to do.
Miko, are you single?
Yes. What's up, holla?
Can I get your number?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Let's do it.
Mark, that was a really good female voice you strong. I was just implying that it was Mark doing a female voice. Never mind. Here's another question.
Good evening, Miko. Raymond Hughes from Gerber Collectibles. Yeah, I actually put my question on the website to fans to ask. I'm not here tonight. And we actually have 2 questions, if that's all right.
Yeah, let's go ahead. Sure.
Can you hear me, Miko?
Frozen in time.
Yeah, I'm having audio issues and listen intently. I think I lost you actually.
No, we hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I think I can hear you
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Raymond Hughes. Yep, Hughes. From Kruger Collectibles. I actually put my question out for fans on the Kruger Collectibles page to ask me if I could not be here tonight. And we have 3 questions, actually, if that's all right with you.
Okay, cool.
All right, the first question that was asked is, what is your fondest memory of Wes Craven's New Nightmare?
Wow. There was a lot of them. If I had to pick one, that's kind of my default, but the set, that final hell set, was just so cool. It's like a haunted house that you could just play in. Yeah, there was a time working with the vomit machine, that was really cool. Getting the knives taped to my hand and like wrestling with Heather, that was fun. Yeah, it was just a really fun film to work on. There was a lot of fun scenes to play with in there.
Okay, next question. Do you still keep in touch with any of the cast?
I've seen Heather maybe 4 or 5 times throughout the past 5-10 years at horror conventions. I saw Wes once. I saw Robert once. We got to go to dinner. Yeah, it's few and far between, but every once in a while, yeah, it's pretty cool.
And this seemed to be the most popular question on the Kruger Collectibles site was, did they let you keep Rex after filming?
Yeah, I have 2 Rexes actually. One of them's in storage and I haven't really been able to find it. I know it's somewhere. And it's a clean one, it's not scarred up. And then there's another one with the cuts that I got to keep from the stitches. And I think my mom has it in like a glass case. She went all crazy, like taking care of that stuff. So, yeah, it was originally a Jurassic Park doll. And recently at a convention, someone found one and brought it for me to sign, but it was, I guess they're really hard to find out. There's a red one. There's different skin tones, but it was the same like T-Rex model, for whatever reason.
As an official member of Kruger Collectibles, I want to thank you, and I want to also personally thank you for cementing the Hughes name in the Elm Street legacy.
Thank you.
I'm giving it back to Mark.
What's that?
Oh, he's giving you back to me.
Okay.
I had a question. I wanted to know what you're currently working on. What projects are you focused on right now, today?
I got a couple things coming up, actually. It was supposed to be November. It got pushed back to January right now. One of them, there's two projects. It's a horror film. It's called William Frost. It's based on a mortician, or it's about a mortician that gets in a beef with his neighbors, and things get escalated, gets violent and gory. And I play mortician's assistant. I'm kind of his only confidant. And I inadvertently tell him how to do the horrible things that he ends up doing in the film.
Let me about that film. Isn't that going to also co-star other Elm Street alum? Like
I believe it is. Yeah.
Tina from the original film, I think, is supposed to be in there, and also Wilcox from Elm Street 4 and 5. I think she's supposed to be in there as well.
Yeah.
I know my shit. What are the other projects that you're working on?
Yeah, drama. It's another independent feature. It's called After Hours. And that should be filming in January as well. So always on the lookout for projects, new horizons.
And you should be. And you're into music as well, right? As well now.
Yeah, DJ. It kind of started as a hobby and do a few things here and there. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna DJ, you probably do have fun with it. Like, I don't know any DJs who are like, oh, this sucks. I'm getting paid to play music. Nah, it's you have a great body of work, and you were able to do so much at such a young age, and I think that's awesome. And you're still working today, which I think is really cool. There's a lot of films that we haven't mentioned that I like. I like Spawn. You got a great role in Spawn. I know McFarlane is not a big fan of the film himself, but I actually enjoy it. Do you have any memories about working on Spawn that you can share with us?
Yeah, Todd McFarlane was really cool, just getting to chat with him. I was a huge Spawn fan when I got the audition. Actually, I was reading the comics, and then my parents kind of caught on to what it was and what it was about. And they told me I couldn't read it anymore because it was just super evil and dark, and I was kind of young for that. And then I auditioned for the film, and it looked like I was going to get it. And I told him, okay, I'll do it on the condition that you let me read it, because I have to know what it's about. If I'm going to work on it after reading the comic. I thought that was kind of funny. I was able to kind of overturn their rule on that. But yeah, at the actual filming, some of the effects were really cool. I think just seeing how it was done on the strings, like he gets hit and he goes flying back, just being there live, seeing some of the takes, and some of the animatronics for the Violator. Is that his name? The big demon?
Yes. John Leguizamo's character.
Yeah, that was dope. And his makeup, just watching him go through the whole thing and chilling with him, like that was
He really took a slice of pizza, I think, with worms on it and ate it, like maggots, and I think he actually ate it with the maggots on it.
That's gnarly. Yeah,
it really is.
I was there for that.
Yeah, but Leguizamo's another great guy that I think is just really talented as well.
Totally, yeah.
I'm really glad that you got to take the time and talk with us tonight.
Sure, this was fun.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to it. Have you ever been to Miami before?
I have once. Or actually, no, twice. It's been a while now.
Oh, you should make it back down here sometime. It's awesome.
I'd love to. Yeah, it's a great time.
But yeah, no. Again, thank you so much. We were running late tonight, so we have to cut it short. But again, it was just it was amazing having you here. I was really looking forward to this. The audience had a great time today.
I think you're awesome. This is really fun. Thank you. I'm honored to be cool enough to come do this with you guys. So I appreciate that. Thanks.
You're welcome to the club. You have a good night, Miko. Say good night to Miko.
Thank you.